Hey guys, Dan here with Pain Free You. Get off the fence. Get off the fence. And what do I mean by that? I mean, if you think you've got TMS or too much stress or distraction pain, or what Dr. Sarno referred to as tension myositis syndrome or tension myoneural syndrome, or the mind-body syndrome now, if you think you've got this mind-body thing going on and your pain or other symptoms are as a result of that, you got to get off the fence. And the fence I'm talking about is the one that you are straddling right now, or some of you are straddling right now, in still having this niggling doubt about, well, it could still be physical. What if, it's not this mind-body thing? Well, first of all, you got nothing to lose. This mind-body work does not cause physical damage. So let's say you've got, back pain that's been around for a while, or a leg weakness that's been around for a while, and you have a suspicion that maybe it's physical. Right? Well, first of all, I will tell you that doubt will keep you stuck in that pain or symptom or weakness or whatever you've got. It absolutely will, because as long as you're going, it might be physical, your brain's not going to let go, because the brain is holding on to that distraction. And as long as you are saying, and this is even more important, as long as you are saying, but it might be physical, you're probably not going to dive into this emotional work with the gusto that's needed in order to get better. So you're really straddling the fence, and you're not on either side of it. You're not completely medical because you've been hanging out in this TMS community. And look, love you guys, but I see some people hanging out in these communities for years and are still struggling. And a few of you are really still straddling the fence. And I guess what I'm asking is, why? There's nothing wrong with having TMS. If you believe that if you give up on the physical reason why you're hurting or have these symptoms, then that means you're somehow weak or less of a person because you've got this mind-body thing. It doesn't mean you're crazy. It doesn't mean you are broken mentally or emotionally. It means you're human. Look around at everybody around you. If they don't have back pain, they've got neck pain, they've got shoulder pain, they got knee pain, they've got stomach problems, they've got all sorts of issues, they've got chronic fatigue, right? Everybody's got something going on. So if you think that you don't want to acknowledge that it's this mind-body thing because that makes you less of a person or less healthy mentally and emotionally, you're wrong. Everybody's got something going on. Now, some people resist the emotional stuff because they are still scared of or really resistant to their emotions. And my mom literally told me, I'd rather the physical pain than open that can of worms that is my emotional history. And at 82, I respect that. I'm not going to push her. I still love her, and we still have a great time anyway. But she hurts every day. So if you think that the emotional work is more overwhelming than the physical pain you're suffering, you're not going to do it. And you're going to you're going to latch onto that physical reason for the pain so that you don't have to do the emotional work, right? And so straddling the fence will absolutely keep you stuck because, number one, you're not going to do the emotional work in the first place, and number two, the doubt in your mind that you're creating by saying, what if it is physical, will cause the brain to hold on to that distraction. It knows it's still got you. And it is, because you're not doing the emotional work and you're holding on to the physical reason for the pain. And so the distraction is still working flawlessly. So for any of you who have been holding on to this belief that it's physical, and maybe if I found the right specialist or the right treatment, I'll be better. You know what that, no offense, but what I think that's doing is really holding out hope that somebody else can fix us, right? And it takes all responsibility away from us for taking ownership of our own health and well-being. And so if you're really hanging on to this, I must be broken, I just need another better specialist to figure it out and fix me, you haven't learned anything yet. And I hate to be so pointed, but you really haven't learned anything yet if you still think that some pill or potion or treatment or manipulation or cracking your back or needles, acupuncture, if you think those things are the actual cure and not just a temporary relief, you still haven't learned enough about TMS. Let's go back to the fundamentals. TMS is a distraction mechanism. Some people will say it is a reaction to chronic stress, tension, unresolved emotions, which Sarno called repressed emotions, suppressed emotions. I call them unresolved because these emotions are sometimes consciously pushed away, like, I don't have time for that, or I shouldn't feel that way, and you consciously are aware of that decision and say, I'm going to stuff that anger. I'm not allowing myself to feel it. Sometimes these emotions are unresolved because of the subconscious programs and the belief that certain emotions are just flat out not acceptable. We learn those through childhood. And so some of that happens unconsciously, some of it happens consciously. And then we also have unresolved emotions, which is latching onto and grabbing these emotions. Look, I know I talk about these concepts a lot, but when you realize that these unconscious or unresolved emotions are what creates this chronic state of stress, tension in the body, literally tension, a change to our autonomic nervous system, which creates some blood flow changes, which creates all sorts of things. Our fight and flight response, our stress response kicks in. We've got adrenaline and cortisol running through the body, and it really changes our entire system. Stress and that stress response will suppress, meaning turn down the immune system, which means now it's not fighting things that it normally would or should or could. So, look, by choosing to be on the fence, and it is a choice. I know you say, I can't help it, I still think it might be physical. That's a choice you're making. Look, I say it before, come on over. The water's fine here. And look, if you're stuck between, I don't know if it's physical and I don't know if it's emotional, mind-body related, unless you go out and do something stupid physically, like try to run a triathlon tomorrow when, I can't run a mile, let alone a triathlon. Unless you do something overtly stupid, for lack of a better word, physically that could truly hurt you, there's no harm in remaining in the life you're in and just dedicating yourself 100% to the mind-body approach, to the approach of feeling your feelings. In the next video, I'm going to be talking about that. Why is feeling your feelings so important, and why does it actually work? So, if you're still on the fence, and you're still suspecting that something is physical, get off the fence. Commit to feeling your feelings, and I'll help you out with that in the next video. So, we'll talk to you later, and I hope this resonated with some of you guys and gals. So, we'll talk soon. Thanks.